Welcome, Sneeples. We are here doing a tier list video. This is revolving around the new Outsiders meta, where we get the two new heroes of Riptide and Uzuri added into our former heroes, and we're going to go over and see where each one lies. And today I have with me my fellow teammates, starting with Paul here. How's it going, Paul?
I'm doing well.
All
Glad
right.
to be here.
Hell yeah. Me and Paul top 8'd at the Uprising event on the team event. And then we also have Mr. Wyatt. How's it going?
Hey, it's going well.
Wyatt is our jank deck tech guy of the team that keeps things janky. And then we have Mr. Blake. How's it going?
What up?
All right. Blake is our he's our guy for all the miscellaneous stuff.
I'm here.
Yeah. We've been, as a team, we've been playtesting quite a bit. So I think it's time now to decide where each hero lies. And we'll just kind of go in the order of where we see them. And let's start with the big one. Let's start with Miss Azalea herself. And I think that's where I like her.
Yeah, I mean, the most recent event had two Azaleas in the final, so there's already some precedent for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a case for her to be A, right? Like if the meta adapts, people get more D-react to get her on to dominate. Like if she's easily counterable, but I think for now, S is like making the most sense.
All right. How about you, Blake? What do you think?
She definitely could be S tier, but like Wyatt said, if people add more D-react, she's also going to have to adjust to it. So she might be bouncing back and forth between the two.
Is that how you beat Azalea? Is the more D-reacts? Is that what we're thinking? I don't even know if that's enough, to be honest.
Or just damage prevention.
Right.
Yeah. Some of my playtesting, people that could like block and then also come back with like on hits, like the Guardians, are actually doing pretty well because they're just putting in more D-react. And then if you run out of arrows, then you're just out of luck at that point.
Yeah, it seems like I've been testing with Azalea and Bravos seem to do quite a bit. Okay, all right. So we'll keep her at S tier. It seems like she's like right here, but let's have an S tier hero. All right, next up is Dash. We see Dash in every format, or every meta at least, have a presence. So where does she lie on this one?
I'm a Dash fan, so I'd put her in A. Dash. There's always one Dash in the top 8, right? So
seems to be recently for sure.
I feel like she's always there. Like at the beginning, people talk about her. They're like, "Wait, this is Dash's time." And then really, like, as people refine the lists and the meta, she kind of, all forms of her fall. I'd personally go B, because, like...
Spicy jank.
Yeah, you have, like, a decent spread, depending on what build you're going. But, like, you can't beat every deck in the meta. Right? Like, you can't, like, have a consistent winning game versus every decent deck, is, like, my main issue. And then even decks that you should be favored in, like Oldhim, Oldhim's just tech slightly aggressively, and then now it's like 50-50 again.
Yeah, Dash, I put her at B.
Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering, do we think Pistol Dash can beat the Azalea? Like, if Azalea's S tier, then to be at A, you would have to be competing in the top 8 against Azaleas.
Probably. That's part of my argument for Azalea being lower, because a lot of decks... like suddenly the 3-block decks are all like decent, like Dash, Dorinthea even.
So now, because that's why I kind of want to put her at A, because if Azalea, if the meta responds to Azalea, I kind of feel like we might see another one at top 8. But I think Dash in general is almost always some spicy jank of some sort. We always see a new Dash deck come out. I don't know. Let's you know what? I got my S. We'll give you the A, Paul.
My vote counts for.
Okay, let's go with Dromai. This one's actually, I think, another tough one. not sure where to put her.
I always
B.
put Dromai as spicy jank.
B? Okay, yeah.
All the Dromai players are copiuming every season, and then she never pans out. Like, she's gotten a few top 8s every now and then.
Right.
Like, maybe a random win on, like, some of the smaller side events.
Well, let's talk to
when it counts,
let's talk to our prime Dromai player, Mr. Blake, the one who has his Dromai deck blinged out to the 9s. Where do you see Dromai in this meta?
I could see her as A. She's hard to build. There's a lot of things like you can switch out that either put her like way more aggressive or a lot more defensive. But I don't know, the conversion rate's just been so bad lately.
That is true.
Other than Mara's Empress build, like nothing's really been panning out lately.
Right. Yeah, like she was the most representative in Chicago, and she has good matchups in Azalea and Uzuri, but yet we didn't see one in the top 8. Or did we?
Yeah. No, there was none in the top 8.
None in the top 8. That's insane.
And she's also supposed to be good into Guardian.
Right.
Which I think it's debatable into Oldhim because it's still a rough matchup.
It is. It is. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe let's keep her here. We need the right person to put her here. But it seems like majority of times she's here. Which might mean I don't know. Anyways. All right. Icelander. Hamilton lost twice to Brody on Azalea, and Brody just picked up Azalea that morning. So, where does Icelander lay nowadays?
I could still see Icelander winning, because I feel like Michael Hamilton's list was just his old list, like not updated for the new format.
It kind of feels like he didn't take the new meta seriously, didn't it?
Yeah. So
yeah.
Like, you put unmovables or something in that deck, maybe some other tech cards, and then you can fix some of your matchups against Azalea.
Right.
But yeah, I'd be either S or A tier for Icelander.
Yeah, I mean, if you think she can win it, I mean that's coming up to the S tier. What about you, Wyatt?
I agree S. Also, just because she has a really good matchup into stuff that other random decks that happen to counter Azalea, like Guardian and like Dash and all these other like good mid range decks that can block. We
were talking about Guardian, and she has a great matchup in the Guardian, as well as Dromai. Like I know it traditionally would seem like Dromai should have a good matchup in Icelander, but I think the way Michael Hamilton's Icelander is built is actually the other way around, and Icelander actually has I'm also an Icelander main now, so maybe I'm a bit high on my own copium, but I always feel pretty good against Dromai.
I don't think Dromai has many good matchups, but I'm a Dromai hater.
Yeah, I'm curious because, with Azalea just kind of dominating over Icelander, I don't know. But I do think it's kind of hard to get her out of this tier right now. I mean, she just puts in work. The
She'll
right player
adjust.
can take her in. Yeah, I think, and to what like Paul was saying, maybe if Michael Hamilton had the unmovables and whatnot, maybe we saw a different game. All right, from one wizard to the next. Here's Kano. Personally, I think Kano's always going to be on this tier.
Yeah.
How much AB you bringing in that day?
I mean, with Icelander still around, I think you bring AB. Azalea runs natural AB.
Yeah, but you're bringing in a little bit less, maybe 2.
Yeah, like 2 or 3, right?
Yeah, I think the problem with Kano is if he ever gets past a certain point of popularity, he's really easy to counter. So he's only gonna have a small win percentage if he's gonna win. If that makes sense. You can't be the most popular deck and be winning, otherwise something's really wrong.
Well, and that's okay because every Kano main will tell you he's always right here, and I think it goes exactly what you're saying. Why it's just
he's the big dark horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he always has a shot, but he's never that representative. And you also have to be a really good pilot to play him. So.
You do have to be, if you're not a good Kano player, he's right here.
I mean, as far as Kano players go, they just kind of ruin my day because you don't expect them to show up. They fuck up your day, but they lose to every other matchup.
Yeah. That's definitely could happen. Okay, let's talk about the other ranger here, Lexi. This is an interesting one because she got some arrows in this new set.
I B or C tier for me. I'm down on Lexi.
Oh man, C tier.
Yeah, I think B. Honestly, I feel like if the meta is warped around or like adapting to Azalea being good, they're just even better into Lexi. Lexi's just easier to fatigue because she doesn't have dominate.
So
Unless you're
Digil Dixon, he was the guy who lost in the finals to a Dash in calling Auckland. Do you think he still plays Lexi, or do you think he moves into Azalea? Like that's what I'm wondering. Is like all the good Lexi players, are they shifting? You know, like in order to be a Lexi player, are you like just high on your own supply, and that's why it's a B because everyone else is just Azalea now? I don't know.
I mean, I think they're just different decks because Lexi's like a go wide deck and Azalea's go tall.
Yeah.
But even the arrows the new arrows in this set, they're like, slight upgrades for some things, but it doesn't change any of like Lexi's problems that she's running into.
Yeah. That's she can still get fatigued, and she always had good on hit, so not like you're adding much. I guess you don't have to be so ice heavy anymore, but I don't know. Let's put her at B. I think that's respectable. I'll even put her
like
right
top of
there.
B,
How about that?
honestly.
Okay, next up we have Mr. Old Man. All right. The other Aria hero. In my heart, I know I made a tier list video and I put him right here. And in my heart, he's still here. I don't get that Winter's Well. But realistically, he's probably he is higher. I would definitely
He's
say
A
A.
tier.
Yeah,
He's A.
I think he's probably the
I'd
most
say
A
above
we've
Dash.
seen yet.
But there's a lot of tools against him now.
Oh man, Boulder Trap,
Embrace.
Fan Brace. It's like holy moly, Oldhim just got hit hard.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you
especially-
expect any amount of Oldhims into the meta, like you have a tool to use against them. You just have to wonder, is it going to be aggro or super defensive?
Right. Yeah, you're right, guys. All right,
I think top of A is a good spot because every time there's something that hits Oldhim, he finds a way to bounce back.
Dude, this
so.
guy endures, man. He is got hit with so many bannings, and yet here he is. All right, our last Aria hero, another one that's very close to the LL. Where does Briar?
She's B.
She's B. Oh,
I think she's B, man. There's too much going against her this meta.
Oh,
yeah, like too many people running reactions and then also disruption, like on hit.
She's under the
there's
Rangers
a lot
for
of
sure.
disruption. I don't know. I kind of still like her in A, just personally. I mean, we saw her in the top 8. She didn't go far, I do think she does have tough matchups with Icelander and Azalea, but like, I don't know. It feels like just like a Briar can just hit a heater and go. I guess they got give and take, but I don't know if they got anything else from this new meta.
She probably gets free wins on like all the jank decks, but like if you're losing
these
to
decks.
4 of the top 4 decks, then I don't think you're top 8 deck.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let me get this. So we got Blake, you're at B. Wyatt, you're at B. Where are you at, Paul? With Briar?
I'd probably put it at bottom of A personally, just because I think Briar's stronger than the B tier decks in
Well,
general.
I agree with you, but I got my S with Azalea. You got your A with Dash, so we have to concede. I do think she's better than Dromai, though, so we'll put her over Dromai.
Yeah, I'm fine. That's about the same spot.
That looks right.
That looks good.
Dash is still too high, but we're good.
All right, moving on. Now, no, I mean Boltyn just the inertias, like it was already tough by Icelander. It's not his time. It's just not.
I'd put him
time.
in C.
You put him in B?
C.
Oh, C.
Yeah. You can still block and like get your combo ready. In my mind.
I mean, you could. I guess.
I don't know. I feel like
like
that's just
it.
like decks that actively kill themselves.
All right. All right, Wyatt. Do you want this to be your one vote
No,
here?
no, I'm saving it.
All right. We're gonna have him at F tier where he belongs. I think. I think he's the only hero that I would put here right now. So I want one hero in F tier, and I think it's.
Oh, I thought you. I was thinking the next one. But...
Oh, see, okay. Let me argue for my Levia people out there. 2 words.
Go ahead.
Carrion Husk. All right. I think this can hold a lot of weight versus
So?
Azalea. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, cool. You saved 1 turn.
But I mean, like, if you just count the amount of armor Boltyn has access to, that's basically Carrion Husk.
I mean,
So, like,
yeah.
and you don't kill yourself.
But Boltyn doesn't do damage either.
Yeah, that's the problem actually. Like at least Levia can do a little bit of damage. I don't know. I mean, I understand the argument here. I personally, I think she's here. I think the meta has gone slower. It's not as aggro, and I think because it's not as aggro, she actually has some legs.
I would agree, but then you also get hit by like any disruption from the top two, the 2 and S right now, and you just lose the game if you have Blood Debt.
Yeah.
So it's like, unless you're playing her like just a strictly worse Rhinar, where you're not running any Blood Debt, then maybe. But
yeah, that's a fair point. All right, what's you guys?
I think she's the same level as Boltyn. So whichever one you want to put those 2 in, I think they're holding hands at the bottom though for sure.
All right. I'm gonna put her at the top. All right. Well, let's talk about the other bird. Let's talk about Rhinar. Is Rhinar A? He's sometimes just like Dash. He's hit the top 8s before, randomly. Or he B, or is he even all the way down at C? I think it's safe to say that he's not S or F.
I think B's comfortable spot for him. I think the current best version of him is very similar to like Icelander's, like the Wounding Bolt Icelander, where you just play good numbers.
Yeah.
But he's just worse at that game plan. But he can still probably get some wins here and there.
Yeah. What do you think, Paul?
I mean, I'd put him at B. His matchup spread's usually pretty similar to Dash's, but like I said, I had a bias for Dash, so.
All right, I really have. You can tell how much respect I have for Kano. I'm just putting him all the way down. I'm just not a Kano head. But
I'm down to move Kano to C, but.
But
we have some worse ones to get through. So.
Oh, we got 2 C's. All right, Blake, hold up. Maybe I went.
No, man,
fast.
I've lost to too many Kanos. I can't talk shit about them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has like the wild factor, you know.
Yeah, really, Kano's on his own little tier. You know what I mean? The Kano tier, where just who knows what the fuck happens. Okay.
Yeah, you can just leave him where he's at. It's
we'll
fine.
leave him there. He's on the bottom. We'll leave him there. Kano heads are just fuming right now. All right, Bravo. I'll be honest with you guys. Kind of high on Bravo. Like
he has dominated.
Maybe even
Azalea got dominated. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at.
I'd say top of B, because I don't know. I every season I really want Bravo to be good because he's like the hero I started with.
Right.
But and he's like so aesthetically pleasing.
I mean, look, you ain't wrong.
He's a good-looking dude, you know.
He's a good-looking
handsome
guy.
Man.
Yeah, I think this is how we do it because this is a callback to what you said, Paul. Every time a new meta comes out, we're like, oh, that's where Bravo is. And then a week later, we realize Oldhim's the best one, and then Bravo goes like here or even here.
Yeah,
and I'm wondering
top of B is probably right.
I'll put him above Briar. I'm gonna give him a little bit.
You're gonna put him above Briar? I don't know about that.
I think I am.
Okay.
I think Bravo has a little bit more legs into these 4 heroes than Briar.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I'll say that. Yeah, I agree with that.
I would maybe disagree, but they're close.
All right. Well,
Briar-
yeah, we'll
Briar's
come
gonna be
back.
gone
I'm
for
sure
some
we'll
more.
move some things in the end here. All right, Mr. Arakni. He's got a few things. It doesn't really look like it, but I actually think Orbido Class is actually a really good card that he's gotten out of this new set. But that's about it. I mean, I don't know. I feel like C's fine for him.
I'm pretty high up on assassins right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, the good news is that, as I said before, it's not an aggro meta anymore. It's more of a mid range meta. So his playstyle should do better into it. I just don't think I could put him like on the same tier as Kano or
You're just gonna have to compare him to the other assassin, like which one's gonna be doing better in the meta.
Yeah, well, she's at the very end for us. I don't know. Personally, I think C. Where would you put him, Wyatt?
B, like mid, above Lexi, personally.
Above? Whoa, that's some high praise. All
Mm.
right.
Well, like
Blake,
he's
what do you
kinda-
say?
yeah,
I haven't not been playing Arakni. I cannot attest to him,
That's
but
fair.
yeah.
Okay.
because currently I'm. Oh, go ahead, Paul.
I was gonna say I'd personally put him at C, mostly because, like, if you want to play an assassin, there's a different assassin that might be better.
I do agree with that, but that doesn't mean he's just strictly worse than for no reason.
I mean, it kind of is
basic-
why Azalea is up here and Lexi's down here, I think. Because of the whole Ranger deal. I feel like all the good Ranger players are playing Azalea, and probably all the good Assassin players are playing Uzuri.
In my mind, like if the world is everybody's running immovable, and D reacts and playing a mid range game, Arachni's really good because he has like counter evasion effectively.
Right.
And he plays really just efficient cards at the base level, and also his weapons are really good into that meta, which also why I think Uzuri is like kind of. I'll give my opinions on her later, but I think there's a case for him to be B. But if you guys both C, that's fine.
Okay. All right. I think we'll put him at C. But look, if something else comes in C, maybe he'll be at the top of C. We'll see. All right, Dorinthea. I don't know. I'll be honest. I played a little bit of Dorinthea at my armory, and I don't know. She seems okay. Like it doesn't seem like she's doing anything to like wow me. So I don't think she's like up here. But like I also don't even feel that great into her here as well.
Yeah, I'd pick C. Below Arachne for sure. If Arachne is C.
I'm actually okay with that.
Yeah, I
Real
mean, if the
hard.
meta moves towards defense reacts, that's the strongest thing against Dorinthea usually. So
That's true. Yeah, she actually gets hit hard with that. Yeah. Yeah, and I you know what? I think she's also one of those. I mean, like look at the heroes on top, right? Like Red and Ledger really messes her up. And then like yeah, a pistol dash could easily. I think she's gonna have a hard time.
Yeah, I feel like the Azalea might be the one deck she might have game into, like, but Icelander and the Guardians, and even like Dromai is probably pretty. Like some of these other decks are probably pretty hard.
Yeah. I don't think things have gotten easier with this new meta. Okay, this boy was once here. It was him and Icelander. I don't think so anymore. So now I honestly think the question is he A tier?
Yeah, that boy B
Is
tier.
he B tier?
I don't think he's better than Briar as an aggro deck, personally. But and like
tier?
the type of disruption Azalea brings in is like almost better against Phi than Briar.
Yeah, right. It actually hurts Phi a little bit more than it would Briar.
Yeah, it's like if before there was like Icelander was the one counter to like this style of aggro, now there's two that are S tier, which makes him even more unplayable.
It's just not the aggro meta that he like set. He's no longer in power. So now the question is what is Daniel Rukowski gonna do? He swears by Phi, and I just don't think it's there. So where do we? I agree. I like Briar more. Do we like Lexi more? Do we like Dromai? Where is he at?
I feel
I could put him above
above
Dromai,
Lexi
and yeah, probably
is
above
where I would
Lexi.
go.
Lexi. All right, Paul. You were the one that was down on Lexi the most, putting her at C tier. I'm guessing you would say that he's above
Yeah,
Lexi.
yeah, I'd put him right there.
Okay. All right. I'm good with this. This seems right. It seems like he's gonna be like Rhinar. We'll see him in the top 8s every now and then. He might take one. All right. Katsu is next. He's our new ninja. He is, he got probably, other than Azalea, probably got one of the most bumps from where he once was, because he was pretty much like a kitchen table deck, really.
Oh,
I think he's in B tier, and I almost like him above Briar. Well, we didn't see him in the top 8 in Chicago, and you would guess against like a very heavy Dromai meta that he would just excel, But that's what the Briar did instead. So that's a fair point. What do you think, Paul?
I'm kind of down on Katsu. Someone was playing him at our armory yesterday, and it just didn't impress me.
All right, you know
from what I
what?
saw.
I'm gonna let you know what happened. I did play Katsu at my armory on Thursday, and I pretty much thought I had the nuts from a 2-card hand. I did like a 6-long chain. He didn't block anything, and I still lost that game. So if we're gonna put him at C, I actually don't have that much qualms with it. I'm trying to give him a little bit of credit here, but like you guys are kind of just putting him down.
I think from an aggro standpoint, like Fi and Briar are better aggro decks, and then you can play a mid-range type Katsu, but I think that style is just also kind of outdated at this point in the game.
yeah.
I'm gonna put
I
him.
even think 5's better at that game plan as well.
I mean, he does get the flame scale furnace, so if you were gonna go a Ninja Turtle, 5 would technically be better. I'm gonna put him right here. All right, this is gonna make a lot of upset ninja players, but that's just how the cookie crumbles on this one. And I'm gonna put this guy right here. I don't know how we feel with old Vis. Paul, you're a
Yes,
Viserai
Blushy
player.
Skeleta. Is that back in
Nah,
yet?
Blushy Skeleta's
wish.
not in yet. Nope. Otherwise, he probably would
okay.
be up here. Maybe
C's
even?
probably okay. He's been out of the meta for a bit, and then it's kind of similar to the other aggro decks we've been talking about. Like the new disruption that's come in is like bad for him. So
Yeah, absolutely. It's rough for old Vis. What do you think, Wyatt?
I think he could play a mid-range game pretty well, and you could like alternate between blocking and like you could be an aggro deck, but then also block and or build up rune chance. So
Right.
like he has a really flexible like turn cycles. So I'd go B personally, but I see the argument for C.
You know what, guys? We haven't tried out our OTG Viserai deck. We should probably give that a go at some point.
get the books ready.
Yep. Get the book back.
Yeah, get that book out.
Yeah.
Get that book out, Paul.
I mean, the flexibility argument, if we're thinking the meta is going to be very mid-range focused, like Viserai is a good mid-range deck.
It is a good mid-range deck. Do we think he's better than Katsu?
Yes.
Okay. Do we think he's better than Kano?
I think he
Personally,
beats Kano.
yes. I think.
Yeah.
I think. Okay, I guess bottom of B is okay with me.
Okay, let's put him right there. We'll give him some love. Give him a little bit of love. All right, now we got the big ones. Our 2 new heroes. Let's start with the hard one. Riptide. Where the hell does Riptide go?
Ooh, why? Get in
Yeah,
there.
Wyatt,
Right.
give us your thesis statement.
I would say honestly bottom of A or close to top of B.
Okay, so you're saying here.
Those are some strong words.
Yeah, all right.
I need something to back that up.
All right, so basically his main issue is like damage density per card. Right, like he just has like, but also he's really good at having really efficient cards. Like he has the most access the most access to the above rate cards in the game, right? Like all of his traps are 0 for 4 with usually some like bonus on top. 0 for 3 blocking, and then the 1 damage from the trap triggering, plus the effect of the trap. And then he has like 0 for 6 traps with like the legacy traps. I think if you put in most of the legacy traps, that's 9 damage, assuming you play all 9 of them. 9 guaranteed damage, because you just have to block with them to trigger. So you really only have to do 30 damage with the rest of his kit. And closing out in games, I think, is his hardest thing. So I have a build that's like a Redline Briar esque build that's performing pretty well. I've only lost like 1 game with it, but I made changes since then. So I think he's pretty good. I think he's also really hard to like discover because he's so weird.
I feel like he's the Dromai of this set, where it just like I don't think Dromai has gotten figured out yet. I don't think there has been the Dromai deck out there. I feel like Riptide is probably going to be the one that just doesn't get quite figured out, unless he does. But like I don't know. I feel like people are going to look more at the other 2 heroes that got the biggest bumps, like Azalea and Uzuri, before looking at Riptide. All right. So you like him at the end here or at the beginning here?
Yeah. I would say either at the beginning or maybe under Bravo, but like I would go around that range.
I'm personally convinced that he's better than given credit for. I do think he's being slept on a little bit. I think I kind of like him here. I think there's a bit of a wild card element to him that I don't think people know how to play against him necessarily. And I think that could be used to his advantage. And I could see him here, but I could also just see him like here as well. What do you think, Paul?
I think he has some interesting tools for like the new decks in the meta, so like Azalea, Uzuri. But I'm not convinced that he's gonna. I think he's gonna have a hard time against like the old ice heroes.
Right.
Just like for the main reason that Wyatt was saying in terms of damage density, and then the ice heroes are already really good at like dealing with like bursts of damage essentially. And then since he doesn't have any like dominate, his bow doesn't give go again like Lexi's does. Like it's kind of hard to like find extra damage. I think that's like not just like something that Oldhim can deal with normally, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I gotta imagine Icelander has to be one of his toughest matchups. Maybe Dromai as well. I don't know. How have you fell into Icelander with Riptide, Wyatt?
I haven't played an Icelander yet, but I played 3 Oldhims, and one of the Oldhims was my only loss. But he was running like 66 cards and like all D reacts.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's probably something you would think about doing with Oldhim, is just trying to fatigue. Let's see. Where? Okay. So you like him here and here. I could kind of see him here. What do you think, Paul?
Like if you asked me 2 days ago, I probably would have put him in C, but I think I've been kind of convinced that he could be a B tier contender. Okay. I at least like him better than Lexi at this point.
Yeah, this is where Lexi is for Paul.
The free reload is just so valuable. You're saving like 1. It turns all your arrows into 0 for 4.
Yeah, I might do that. What do you think, Blake? Where do you think Riptide belongs?
I mean, I've seen the go wide decks with him, but it's gonna take a really good pilot to take him to the top.
I agree. Okay, all right.
So
I think
he might be B. I see him as a C.
Okay.
Without a good pilot.
All right. So I think let's meet in the middle ground. Let's go B. Let's. Do we think he's? Other than you, Wyatt, because we know where you're.
No,
at.
I'm honestly fine with where you're putting him at, because I think he still needs a lot of work.
Is he better than Rhinar? We'll put him right there, right smack dab in the middle of B. That's where our Riptide is. Okay, our final hero, Uzuri, or Uzuri. Um, or yeah, let's see. Where does she belong? We've been doing a lot of testing. I'm okay, Paul. You're our Uzuri guy. Obviously, White, you were pretty like me, you, and Paul. We were all pretty big into making this deck. But where do we actually see her? Are we just high on our own supply, or is this more realistic? What do we think?
I would say bottom of A or top of B, honestly. The main reasons being uh, Uzuri's very like resilient against disruption, which is kind of a big thing, and you get to play probably one of the stronger mid-range games since you can build a deck that has a lot of 3 blocks,
Right.
a good amount of defense reacts, and then you also have like attacks that you can sort of give evasion with like dominate with the isolate card, and then that also have like some of the stronger like hand disruption effects.
True.
So those are like all our positive things. If the meta adapts to have a lot of defense reacts, then I think Uzuri can still adapt, but it's going to be a lot harder. So it kind of depends on where you see the meta, whether like you put it at the bottom of A or top of B, I think.
Okay. What do you think, Wyatt?
This is gonna be my hot take of the video.
Oh,
I think she's S tier.
Ooh.
So
Damn.
I
well,
like that you
because
said this was your hot take and not Riptide being at A.
oh well, I think these decks a lot. And honestly, I think if it is like a reaction heavy meta, I think Uzuri is the best deck for that meta.
What do you think, Blake?
Definitely solid A tier. She's going to beat Oldhim. She's going to beat Dash. I have seen her lose to Dromai several times online.
Yeah, I heard
But
Sam himself said that Dromai was a tough matchup.
yeah, and I was watching like the non-Dando list. I was watching the other ones.
Yeah.
So I do think she could beat Azalea. I think the Icelander match is going to be rough. I've been like practicing myself into it. So I think it's between S and A.
Let's put her at the top of A. I think that's pretty much where I think everyone's pretty happy with that, right? Like, I think she's better than Oldhim, personally. All right. I will say, looking at these four, Dash feels fucking weird, but you know what? She's
Look,
on the
I was
bottom,
right.
so
Dash
she's
is
okay.
B tier. Okay.
Look, Paul outranks me. I can't say anything against it.
Look, honestly, Dash is more in line with like all the heroes in B tier. You put it at the top of B if you want to make the list look
we'll
more
put it right by
accurate.
Bravo.
We backpedaling.
You
Move to
know,
down.
yeah. I mean, spicy jank. All this, what this means is that you can day 2 with these heroes. But you better be a good Riptide player. That's all I gotta say. You better be a good Riptide player. And you better get lucky with Rhinar. And you better get your moss guys with Viserai. Starting to
Don't forget your no
AB
AB with Kano.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of do see it like that now. I'm kind of looking at it, but I don't know. I think it is like this. I think if you're a good Kano player, you can of course day 2. You can probably even get up here, but I think it's just so tough.
Well,
like if Icelander was in the top of the meta, people weren't running AB for her. I think sure Kano has an easier time.
Yeah, and then,
if we're talking about day 2, I mean, like, there's gonna be Katsus and Dorintheas in day 2 also. Like, I think Arakni, Levia,
Okay, look,
and
Josh
Boltyn
Lau
might be the
might
only
make
ones that
Dorinthea
don't.
into day 2, but that's about it, right?
I mean, maybe, I don't know. I'm just saying. I'd be more surprised to see an Arakni than a Dorinthea in day 2, if that's like what the criteria
I guess
is.
that's fair. I don't know. Maybe he's at. Yeah. All right. You know what? We've done enough. This is it. We'll keep it here. I'm sure to those who are watching, you guys have different opinions. Roast me on the comments. I want to know what you think, where we were wrong or where we were right. But yeah, thank you guys for helping me make this tier list.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Well, I'm going to close this out. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll keep on making some fab content, but in the meantime, get to fabbing. We'll catch you in the next video.